we're back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. I was searching in the wrong place. That's where I was. Pecos Valley Bass. There it is. Well, we'll do a search for it anyway. Hey, welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. We're going down to our last segment here before the end of the broadcast, and then we'll here's the tournament results from Lake Amistad. That's what I was trying to pull up there. So I'll full screen that, and I will go to number 3 input, put that on the TV. So March 5th and 6th, Lake Amistad tournament results. Mike Hill and Catherine Martinez came in first place and got 300 points. Their weight was 14.70. Coming in second, Dave Watkins and Jed Singletary. And this is how close they were, 14.1. And they got 299 points. Third place, Mark Woolever and Randall Wassam with 9.40 on the weight. They got 298 points. And then coming in fourth, Andrew and Jerry Houghtaling. Must not have caught fish. 3.10 was their weight, so they got 297 points. And then the big bass on day one went to Mike Hill with a 3.9-pound bass. I'm reading your results there, Joby. And then the day two big bass went to Jed Singletary with a 4.40. So there you go. I got the big bass numbers up there. So did I do a good job of reporting that?
Perfect job, and luckily I actually was on top of it for a change and had them already on the website, so that because I was late, you were still able to give the results.
Yeah. So we were able to do that. I didn't know if you'd posted any pictures.
I did. So you can go to the
right below it there.
You can go to, well, you can look on Facebook. That'll work. I was going to say you can go to the website or to Facebook. That's Mike and Catherine. That was their day two picture.
Okay, let me pull that up there, and it's not a full screen. That's as big a picture as I've got, but that's okay.
And if you want to, you can go to. If you want to go to the website, you can see the full screen. But I think you were on the PVBM site there for a minute.
No, I was on the Facebook page.
Oh, you were on Facebook.
Yeah. So let's see,
PVBM.club.
And my dyslexia got me.
I think you'll see the pictures a little bigger if you go to, once it loads.
Yep, we're waiting for the website to load up. So
anyway, yeah, it was a good tournament. Had 4 teams make their way to Del Rio, Texas, and fish in Amstead. And the lake's really low. It's still a humongous lake, but I think it's over 45 feet low.
Wow.
And I think the weather was pretty good. I didn't talk to everybody, but I know the wind blew some. But I wonder why it's not loading.
I don't know. The internet's been a little bit slow today here at the old radio station. There we go.
So if you go to
Gallery 2022, checking my math.
There you go. And then there's some pictures. You can just click on the first one and it should bring them up big screen.
Okay.
Anyway, I thought it would, but it didn't, did it?
No, it just it has it listed as to who they are in the little picture, but that's okay.
Yeah. So anyway, good tournament. That's Jed and David Watkins and Jed Singletary there. And I'm wondering why my pictures are so little. I'll have to check into that.
Yeah.
But they...
I'll go back to that one.
For the most part, yeah, that's Mike and... Well, now it went back to Dave and Jed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one, that's Mike and Catherine again.
Okay,
that was their day two catch. They ended up winning it. You've already said that. It was close on day one. I think Jed and David were winning day one, and then day two. That's Mike Hill. That was day one. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I didn't ask Andrew. My son Andrew took the pictures. I'm not sure why he didn't get, because some of the pictures are just one of the two. It was a team tournament, and so I don't know why on day one that they didn't get Catherine in there. But anyway, that was Mike Hill.
So I zoomed in on the computer screen.
Yeah.
So that looks a little more full screen there.
Yeah, and the other thing is the pictures didn't come out real clear, so I got to figure that out. That's Randall Wassam in the turquoise shirt and Mark Willever. They were a team, and and that was their day one picture.
Okay.
They limit day one. So there was 3 limits caught on day one, and then 2 limits of 5 fish, and then 2 other teams. My dad and Andrew only caught a fish each day, keepers. So that's Randall, and that's Andrew on day one with the smallmouth that they caught that was a keeper, my dad and him. I think Andrew caught, well, I don't know. I'm going to say he caught it because he's in the picture. I didn't get clarification. Normally, I like to have, when there are team tournaments, I like to have it like that, where we got both anglers in the pictures. And I believe that's day one for David and Jed.
Okay.
Their catch on day one.
Okay.
I think it might be day 2. It looks like a pretty good one because Jed won big bass on day 2. Anyway.
Okay.
And then that is Randall Wassam on day 2, and he and Mark Willover were partners. And again, I don't know what happened, why they didn't get everybody in the. Sometimes these anglers are not headed, they won't get in the picture. And I don't know if that's what happened, or if it's or knuckleheaded, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if that's what happened or what. Normally when I'm there, I tell them, hey, both of you get in the picture. Sometimes they won't anyway, but
yeah.
But that was Randall on day 2. He and Mark.
I think
we're
that's
partners.
it.
There should be
photos.
one more. There should have been.
Well, here, I'll go backwards. That one we talked about.
Yep.
That one we talked about.
Yes. Andrew on day 1.
That one we talked about.
Mark and Randall on day 1.
We talked about that
Mike
one.
Hill on day 1.
We talked about this one.
That's Mike and Catherine on day 2, and they ended up winning the tournament.
And we talked about that one.
It's David, and you know what? That is their day 1, David and Jed, day 1.
Okay, those are all the pictures.
So I missed a picture then. There was one more that I thought I got on there, but I didn't, so I'll have to.
Yeah, I'll go back and look.
You can go to Facebook, I guess, where you were at a while ago. But anyway, so I'm excited about.
Yeah, I think there were 7 pictures.
Yeah, there should have been 8, so I got to go back and get another one put on there.
Okay.
Excited about our season getting underway.
Well, you know what? That's
the
picture that didn't.
There it is.
That's the picture that we didn't have on the other.
Yeah,
deal.
there it is, and that's my dad, Jerry Houghtaling, and that's day 2. So him and Andrew, they didn't get in each day picture. So I don't know if he caught that or if Andrew did. I'm going to make the assumption he caught that one and Andrew caught the one on day 1. They just didn't find them. They caught fish, but they were all pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
So they only caught 2 fish overall for the weekend, but keepers. But
okay.
Not as many teams as I'd hoped. Of course, I'm part of that problem. I didn't go.
Right.
And that would have been 5 teams if I'd have went. And then, it's just the way it works out sometimes. We've got 20 active members, so in theory we could have had 10 teams. Actually, we've got 12 boaters and 8 non-boaters right now that are active 2022 members. But so in theory, I guess we could have had 12 teams. It would have just been a couple of the 4 of the boaters would have had to have non-boaters join them, but. Anyway, our next tournaments are coming up. And I say tournaments because there are 2 one-day tournaments at Possum Kingdom coming up in April. And we're doing that in conjunction with New Mexico Bass Nation. They're having their first 2 team qualifying tournaments for 2022 there. And so our club will be fishing the same format, 2 one-day tournaments. The boaters can have a 5-fish limit. The non-boaters in those 2 tournaments for our club and for New Mexico Bass Nation would only catch 3 keepers each day. And but the reason we do that is so that anybody that wants to fish New Mexico Bass Nation in our club can, without having to have multiple tournaments in 1 month, having to travel a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to fish in conjunction, and then those that don't want to fish New Mexico Bass Nation, we still have our tournament. So that's how we're going to handle that coming up in April. And then at the end of April, we have a one-day, well, they're all one days, but we have a Saturday-only tournament here at Brantley Lake, and it's going to be a team tournament. So I don't know what I'm going to be able to do yet. I know I plan on fishing the Brantley tournament. I plan on fishing Possum Kingdom as well, but I'm not 100% that I'm going to get to go. I know that my normal partner is my son. He's not going to be able to go. He already knows for sure. It is individual, so I don't have to have another person on the boat, but I'd like to.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother Jeff is not going to be able to go either, so he would be. And there's others though, so I just got to figure out if I can go, if I can make that tournament. But our tournament season's underway. You saw the there's the leaderboard for Amstead, and so that's the leaderboard for our year two, because each one of those team members, Mike got 300 points as an angler on our leaderboard, and Catherine got 300 for co-angler or non-boater, and so forth and so on. So they're the top of our leaderboard here. We've got 15 tournaments scheduled. That was our first one, and it's not 15 different weeks, but because we're doing the doubles. But that's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's an update on Pecos Valley Bassmasters.
Well, there you go. So it's underway.
Underway.
The season is underway, and
Yep.
it's not too late. I mean, that's just the first tournament of the year. So if somebody wanted to be competitive for the season, there's still lots of tournaments coming up that they could start taking part in.
Lots of tournaments coming up, and all the rest of them, 14 more. And really, it's never too late. Even we've had people join with just a couple of tournaments left, a couple of different years. So, but absolutely, you can go to our website, pvbm.club, click on the Join tab. There's going to populate a PDF that is our enrollment form. It's a pretty simple one-page form, and it's actually fillable, but you can either fill it out and then email it in, and the information on how to get it to us is there. And then once we receive those, I send out an invoice for your dues. The club dues are $40, the state dues are $20, and the national dues are $30. So we collect $90 of dues, and then I send those on to where they need to go. Our club dues, of course, stay with our club, and that pays for things like year-end stuff, any special events we might have during the year. It also annually pays for our website. It costs so much a year to have our website renewed, and so I've got that coming up here in another month or so. We got to pay the renewal on that, but that's what we do with our club dues. It buys our year-end trophies and things like that. The state dues, the $20 goes on to New Mexico Bass Nation, and then the $30 that we collect out of the 90 goes on to BASS.
Okay, so if you want to learn more, you go to pvbm.club.
Yep.
And
lots of information there.
And you can check that out. Congratulations to Mike Hill and Catherine Martinez.
Yep.
Who are the top of the leaderboard.
Top of the leaderboard, and they get tournament number one under their belts, and they win it.
Yeah. Is it kind of like NASCAR? So are they guaranteed a spot in the final
with that win?
With that win?
No. But our club is such that normally, if we had over the years. I think there's probably been a time where we we used to do where the top 10 point getters was all that could get into the championship tournament, regardless if they were co-anglers or anglers.
Mm-hmm.
So the top 10 point getters. That's how it was for years, I think, for years and years with Pecos Valley Bassmasters. About 4 years ago, whenever I became the president, I suggested that maybe we change that up a little bit, try to get more people into the championship. So now we take the top 10 anglers and the top 10 co-anglers. But in those 4 years, I think only one time did we actually have, there was a year or two where we had 40-plus members.
Wow.
And so then, it did matter where your points were.
That's right.
So we'll see. Right now, we've got 20 members. So in theory, they could all fish in the championship if that's all we had all year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, check it out. Yeah, are you still, did you get your voice back from Saturday night?
I didn't lose my voice. I guess I used my diaphragm, or what do you call that, where you come out?
You didn't use it.
I didn't.
You were way up there in pitch.
Yeah, but I can do that. But from here, I can get way up there in pitch. I got a voice that's got a range. But I didn't lose my voice. It was an exciting game.
It was. All right, we're done for the day. Thank